What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mika Chanel, back with another edition of Mika Chanel's Just Saying. Okay, now, I tried to tape it before. I had about a good 10, 12 minutes taped, and then my phone rings. So then it, like, cuts off my camera. So I put my phone on airplane mode. I'm hoping that that will keep people from, breaking into my video. I want to get this video through. I don't want to have to string the videos together because that takes forever to upload them. Anyway, so like I said, I'm back. I'm talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 7, episode 8. It starts off with Phaedra and her mom. They are they're eating lunch at some little outdoor cafe or whatever, and basically, Phaedra tells her mom that she had went to a video release party the night before with no video. She had to throw that in. There was no video, which was crazy. Anyways, and Apollo shows up, and she's like, he's all hugging up on her and talking about how much he loves her and this and that. And she's like, love is a verb. You can't just say it. You have to, show it or whatever. And then her mom is like, well, does he try to talk to you at home? Like, why was he, trying to talk to you out in public? And she's like, well, when he does talk, when he is at home and he does want to talk, he's kind of blaming, Phaedra's like, he's kind of blaming me for his problems. And she's like, she's trying to give him legitimate business ideas to make money, from the funeral business to the exercise, tapes. And I thought he was trying to be like a personal trainer or whatever. But, I mean, he wants that fast money. And he even admitted, that he wanted the fast money. And he did what he did because of that. And, I mean, it could have probably been some pressure from Phaedra for him to, step up, pay some bills, bring some money in the house. But at the end of the day, it was his choice. He decided to, steal folks' money. And the reason why I can't put money in my mama Chase account, put cash in my mama Chase account right now, because you got to be on the account or you got to use a check to put the money in there because they need a paper trail. And I'm like, I can't put cash in here? What you mean? No, she was like, no, you're not on the account. You can't put cash up in here. We need a paper trail to make sure you not trying to steal people money, whatever. So, anyways, but yeah, she just was saying how stressed she was or whatever. And I was like, she had these, like, on the side of her head, she had these, like, veins. They were just, like, popping out of her head. And I've never noticed those before. Like, the whole time she's been on this show, I have never, ever noticed her having any kind of veins popping out. And then, she just had, like, some stress lines, some worry lines going on. And hopefully she gets that together because, you can't let no man make you old before your time. You don't want to be stressed. And I know it's a stressful situation. She's got, like, so much going on. She's got, like, 50 jobs. She's, got the 2 small boys. I mean, small boys. Not, like, it seemed like they're only, like, a year and a half apart, maybe. Something like that. So, yeah, I know she's stressed. And she's, of course, not doing everything on her own. She's got help. But, I mean, it's still, falling all on her. So, she definitely looks stressed. Anyways, so they just kind of talk about that. And her mom's like, you know what? You'll be, those boys will be okay. And you will be okay, too. You just got to get through this. And Phaedra's like, I just feel like when he goes away to prison that, I'll be less stressed. Like, I'll feel a little bit of a relief because I won't have to worry about what he's doing, if he's getting into trouble, or the police gonna call my phone, did he wreck another car, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's just saying, it'll be like a release, a relief when he goes away, which is really sad to say about your husband, but that's where they are in their marriage right now. Phaedra was through, like, long time ago. Anyways, so yeah, so that's kind of just what they talk about. I just really hope that she calms down some and don't end up in the hospital with them dang veins popping out the side of her head. So then the next scene, Nene and Portia meets up. Portia's already at the restaurant, so Nene comes in. She tells the hostess, like, I'm here to meet a girl with a whole lot of weave in her hair. Like, really, Nene? You got weave in your hair too. It may not be like all down your back, but it's weave. Weave is weave. Whatever. But that was funny. But then I'm like, what in the world does Nene have on? She got on like this long black maxi skirt with this like baseball jersey, but it's sheer. And it just was not working for me. But she's never really been stylish in my eyes. And she Looks like she's trying to play with some different looks, and it's just not working because once again, I had to stare at that dang Shaggy from Scooby-Doo wig. Sitting on my TV screen, I'm like, I don't want to see this wig anymore. When they stop showing interviews of her in this wig, I'm sick of it. I can't take this wig anymore. She looks crazy. And I know she's sitting back watching these episodes at home like, damn, that was a bad choice. Her makeup artist and her hairstylist is fired. Okay, fired. She better call Mary J. Anyway, so they talk about Demetria McKinney's video release party because Nene wasn't there. I guess she was out of town or whatever. And Portia was like, you know, there was no video. And she was like, there was no video. How you gonna have a video release party with no video or whatever? And she was like, that's like a fashion show with no fashions. And I guess she was trying to make a joke. But Portia didn't get it. I guess, I don't know, maybe Portia didn't see season 1 or season 2 when Sheree tried to do her little fashion show and then she didn't have any clothes to show, and Dwight was like, how you gonna have a fashion show with no fashion? So whatever. So Portia didn't get it. So Nene kind of just moved the conversation on along or whatever. And then they kind of just moved off of that. Well, she did say something about Roger Bob. I think they said something about her dating Roger Bob. I can't remember that part. I don't think they brought his name up. But then they did start discussing Cynthia, and Nene just said she felt like, just some things unresolved, and Portia just like, she don't really know what's going on between them two or whatever. So that was it. It wasn't really much going on with them. I just don't think that their friendship is genuine at all. Nene just needs somebody to be her little flunky for the, right now. And Cynthia has moved on. And so Nene has chosen Portia because she's like the only other person on the show. Like, I think she thought her and Kenya were going to kind of have that kind of relationship but Kenya, likes to shine herself. So Portia is so annoying. And she's trying so hard to be Nene's friend. So I guess that's why Nene chose her. But anyways, I guess she should have tried to choose a full-time housewife. Anyway, so then you see Candy. She meets with her mom, Mama Joyce, and they go over. She's with Mama Joyce, and they go over to her Aunt Nora's house, and her Aunt Bertha's also there, and they're gonna sit down and have dinner. Candy and Mama Joyce just came back from the closing of Mama Joyce's house that Candy just bought for her, and Candy's a little salty because Mama Joyce won't give her a key to the house or whatever, and she's like, I just paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for this house, and you're not gonna give me a key. And her aunts are teasing like, well, you don't want to go over there, and I think his name is Benny, her mama's boyfriend, running around naked or whatever. And I'm just like, really, that man gonna be there too? Like, I mean, Mama Joyce, it is just crazy to me that she has this man of her own that is living off of her. He done messed up her daughter's house. He driving around in the car that her daughter done bought her. He, living in her new house now. Like, but then she wants to get upset with Candy and Ty when Ty wasn't working for a while. And it was Candy's idea for him not to work because she wanted him there in Atlanta with her. She didn't want him in California at that time or whatever. But, either way, it doesn't matter if he never worked again. Like, you got a man that's kind of sort of seem like it's the same kind of situation. I don't know what the man does for a living, but I mean, he finna move in the house that your daughter bought. How come he didn't buy y'all a house? That's what I want to know. Anyways, so basically she was just saying, Candy was saying she just never know what mood her mama's gonna be in. She might be happy, she might be mad, but most likely she gonna be mad because she's always mad about something. It's kind of silly. So then she asked her mom and her aunts to go on tour with the play, A Mama's Love, that they premiered last season. And I guess ticket sales haven't been that good, and she feels like that maybe if her mother and aunts come out and people can, kind of see them and meet them, because the play is kind of loosely based on them anyway. She was like, she could just write like a couple lines in there, lines in there for them or whatever. But they were all three of them were like, I don't sing anymore. I don't do that. I'm retired. Like, it's over with. It's a done deal. And Candy's like, okay, well, whatever. Then she moves on. They asked about the New York trip, and then Aunt Nora was like, did you see Sharon? Sharon is Todd's mom. And so, you know, of course, Candy goes on and starts telling them what Miss Sharon said when she was there about how she's so upset with Mama Joyce still, and Mama Joyce owes her an apology, and you know what I'm saying. And she was like, she's not gonna get an apology or whatever, and she was gonna have something for her, and Bertha was like, well, bring it on. Tell her to come on down here. She got something, you know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, we the OLGs up in here. She ain't finna come down here. And even Nora was like, well, if she come with no attitude, she can't come with an attitude and trying to be a bully. But if she come, you know, correct, then, you know what I'm saying, it could be a conversation. So even Nora was like, I don't know about all this. Because then Candy was like, well, she did say she was going to punch you in the face, Mama. And that just went, and Mama Joyce was like, tell her to come on, as long as she don't come with no cabbage. And Candy's like, cabbage? What are you talking about, cabbage? And I was sitting there like, what does that mean? So I guess Bertha was like, it mean you don't come with all head and no ass. Those some old school Southern fighting words right there. I ain't never heard that in my life. Maybe that's my mama that she ever heard it. She was like, no, we from the Midwest, so I guess we got a whole new slang up here than they got down in Georgia, you know what I'm saying, for the old ladies to talk about. But that was funny. It's even more funny that these ladies are talking about fighting. Y'all like grandmas, you know what I'm saying? They did great grandmas. Like, what is going on? Why are y'all talking about fighting this lady? Seriously, that's just killing me. But like, it's just, you know, Candy running off at the mouth. She didn't have to say everything that Miss Sharon said. She did not have to repeat the whole punching her in the face comment or whatever. You know, she's annoying. She's very annoying. I don't know, like, she seems like she's still in high school a little bit, you know what I mean? That's the vibe I get from like, and it might just be that that's how it is in Atlanta. I don't know, but it's just she's very childish. That's what she is. She's childish. And she's childish in the way that she runs her mouth to talk about people, you know, to run off and tell people what other people say. And she's also childish in a way that she can't stand up for herself, especially with her mother. Like, she can stand up for herself with the other ladies or whatever, but she won't stand up for herself when it comes to her mother. So that's a little childlike as well, because, I mean, you're a grown-ass woman and you're supporting your mother. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to tell her how you feel, you know, without, you know, nobody's telling you to be all disrespectful or anything like that, you know, but you need to lay the law down. Anyways, so yeah, that was just that was that whole scene, but I'm just like, there's just some drama right here. Anyway, so Cynthia and Claudia go to the J spot, which is Derek J's hair salon, and Cynthia is like surprising Claudia with a makeover basically on for her hair, because she's basically saying, like, you know, Claudia is the type of girl to come out with a ponytail and lip gloss. You know, she's not that glammed up or whatever. She's from Long Island, you know, Rhode Island, I mean. And she's just basically saying, you know, like, you living in Atlanta, girl, you got to step it up. You can't coming outside looking like anything. You got to get your hair done. Cynthia was like, when I moved here, I didn't even wear a lot of weave. But now, you know, I got to, you know, switch it up all the time. So she basically tells Derek J, you know, like, you know, hook her up. Make it so that she can change her look every once in a while if she wants to or whatever. And Derek is saying, like, him and Claudia go back because they used to do, what did they used to do together? Hold on. They used to work together doing, interviews. I didn't write it down. I thought I wrote it down. That's what I was looking for. But I think they used to work together doing, like, some kind of, interviews, red carpet interviews or sideline interviews or something like that. They said they used to do together or whatever. I'm like, does everybody in this area know everybody else? Like, is everybody trying to be in entertainment and they just all know everybody? I don't understand. Like, Atlanta, is it that small? I've been there before. It didn't seem that small, but I mean, I guess I don't live there, so I don't know, you know, the culture that well, and I don't know, you know, how the different neighborhoods, you know, link all together and whatever. It just, I don't know. It just seems very small from the reality TV world. Not just the Housewives, but like all of the shows that are based in Atlanta. It just kind of seemed like you just see people. You just see the same people roaming around. I don't know. It's kind of weird. anyways, so yeah, back to them. They were just basically talking about that, and then they asked Derek J, did he go to the release party the night before, and he was like, yeah, girl, but I left real early, or whatever. And then they started talking about how Demetria is dating Roger Bob, and Derek J is like, I know Roger Bob, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know he had a girlfriend. I thought she was just his artist or whatever. And they were like, nah, she's in love with him and she wants to marry him or whatever. But she did say they were on and off. And Derek J was like, I must have knew him in the off time then, because I ain't never known for him to have no girlfriend or whatever, you know, and a serious girlfriend. And so then all of a sudden, Cynthia gets a text message from Nene. And the message from Nene basically says that she wants them to meet for lunch, and she wants her to bring her girl, Kenya, which Cynthia was kind of offended about that she said, bring your girl, Kenya, or whatever, which Nene probably was trying to, you know, be a little shady when she said it. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of, they kind of discussed that, and they were just like, I wonder what she wants to talk about, and why would I bring Kenya, you know what I mean? And then, so you see Kenya and Brandon in the next scene, and they're going to look at Office Space. And, oh, wait a minute. I forgot to talk about Derek J, didn't I? Yes, I miss Derek J. I know I said this in my last vlog. I really, really, really like Derek J. He used to be on the show a lot in the beginning because he used to do Kim's hair. He did Candy's hair. And you just haven't really seen him. But I'm happy to see him back in the mix this season. You know, I like Derek J. He's funny and he's always neutral, but he's funny. You know, he cracks me up. So I'm glad he's back. Anyways, okay, now we can move on to Kenya and Brandon. Kenya and Brandon are somewhere. Look like they was in the hood. I don't know where they were, but they were looking for Office Space. And Office Space for what? That's what I was trying to figure. I'm like, why did Kenya need Office Space? Like, she had one meeting with Roger Bob to talk about doing a project, and now she got to get the office so that she could, I guess, get her creative juices flowing and you know what I'm saying, just sit and do what? I don't know. I don't know what she needs an office for that she can't do in her dining room right now because she doesn't have anything going on at this moment. So, whatever. Yeah, so they're looking at Office Space, and then they're just kind of walking around, and it just seemed like a really big office for someone that doesn't really have a job or anything. I just don't know how to understand this whole office thing. But anyway, so she gets a call from Cynthia. So Cynthia is telling her about the text that she had just gotten from Nene, and that you know, she was supposed to come, and Kenya's like, I don't know if I want to come. And Cynthia's like, that wasn't a question, girl. That was, I'm telling you, you coming. Nene said you coming, you coming. If Nene said we coming, that means we all gotta go. That's like what she was basically saying, whatever. So they were like, well, okay, well, maybe she's ready to, you know, resolve the issues that she has with me. And Cynthia's like, I don't even know what happened with you and Nene. And Kenya's like, nobody knows but Nene. Because I swear, I've watched every single episode, and I still do not know. I have watched it from season 1, and I don't know what's going on with Nene and Kenya. I can't for the life of me figure it out, other than jealousy at some level. I don't think it's money, of course, but maybe because Kenya is another powerful force on the show, you know what I mean? And you kind of knew she was going to be that way from the beginning, you know? Maybe that's it. I'm not sure. Whatever, but yeah, so in her little interview, Kenya was like, well, I don't know why Nene wants me to come. Who knows what she has up her sleeve, or hoof. First of all, they both about the same size. You know, Nene's a little thicker, but they about the same height. You know what I'm saying? So that was funny. That was real funny. You know what I'm saying? Because Nene always throwing some shade at her. So, you know, I like Kenya. That's my girl. Anyways. So you see Claudia, she goes to pick up her mother, Italian mother, and black grandma. Like, she always like to say my black grandma, my Italian mother, whatever. So she picks them up, and our grandma is hilarious. She's like a 90-year-old lady. She smokes, she drinks, she cusses, she just a mess, you know, like, she is funny. And they basically, you know, just kind of talk as they're going I guess they're heading to Claudia's house. But they just was talking or whatever, and she said something about queens. What did she say? A queen has to look good or something like that. Claudia said. Her grandma was like, well, what kind of queens are you talking about? Are you talking about queens or are you talking about queens? I was like, what is this lady talking about? She's like, you know the queens I'm talking about, the ones that can get married now. I'm like, she is so old school. You can't blame her. She's 90 years old. You know, this whole world is new to her, and especially going to Atlanta. She probably is like in a whole new, like, she's having a culture shock right now. You know what I'm saying? And she's in Rhode Island. And I don't think that they have men walking around the hills in Rhode Island. They might, but I highly doubt it. That was so funny, man. It was hilarious. But her grandma is just too cute. So that was kind of it with that little scene. Then you go, there's more on him later. But then you go to Candy and Todd and Candy. Anyways, they first they start talking about the ticket sales. And, you know, about how, you know, Candy, just different things. What can they do to increase the ticket sales? Because they are not even selling half of the seats for the different venues that they have booked or whatever. So she's a little worried about that. And she tells Todd that she had asked her mother and aunts to kind of go on tour. And Todd had this look on his face like, whatever. But he said, he was like, you know, that's a lot of traveling. I don't know if the OLG's are up for it. These OLGs is killing me. The old lady gang is killing me. So anyway, so that was kind of like a segue into Candy talking about the conversation that she had with her mother and her aunts or whatever. And, you know, she's always bringing shit up, basically. And, you know, Todd is just like, why did you really feel that you needed to tell your mother that my mother said she was going to punch her in the face? And Candy's like, well, your mother told me to tell. Your mother told me specifically to tell my mama that she said that. And Todd's like, but still, did you really think that that was going to help anything? And she was like, well, the situation is already messed up. And he's like, I know, but we don't want to make it worse. He's like, I don't want our mothers fighting with each other. It's ridiculous. And he's like, so this is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna hang with my mama on the holidays, you hang with your mama on the holidays, and that's it. Because I don't want to put up with her either, and I'm not gonna have my mother around, you know what I'm saying, and just trying to tell her to bite her tongue, and Mama Joyce can do whatever she wants. And you know, Todd's like, I'm fed up. I'm over this. You know what I mean? He's just over it, and he's like. She's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Why does that have to be a problem with us or whatever? And he's like, it's a problem because I'm not going to subject my mom to this anymore. And it's a problem that your mother started, which she did because there was no reason for her not to like Todd. Todd hadn't done anything for her not to like him. So Mama Joy started it all. And Kenny is so like nonchalant about it with Todd. You know what I mean? She's just not giving him what he needs as her husband. She's not. And as far as the whole mother situation goes from what they show on TV. I mean, they might be having some different conversations in private, but from what they show on the show, she gonna lose her man if she don't shape up. That's basically what it is. And, you know, it's very sad, of course, you know, that Todd's mother passed away. I wonder how the dynamic is with them now, though. Like, is Candy, you know, really stepping up the way she should? Or, you know, is this kind of putting a more strain on their relationship? Because, you know, he's like, you know, I mean, I would kind of feel some kind of way. And especially like what Mama Joyce saying, you know, I ain't going to the funeral or whatever. You know, like, she didn't even have to comment. If somebody asks her a question, say no comment. If she don't have anything nice to say, you know, and I don't know. I hope they make it. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, so yeah, so like I said, Candy, basically she was like, bye. She was like, they were talking and she was like, bye. And he was like, bye. And she was like, I'm done talking. I don't want to talk about this anymore. So she gets up and walks out of her own office. And he's like, see, that's what you do. You always walk away. You never want to talk about the situation. And it just makes it worse. And you could just see the frustration on his face. And I don't know. Like, Candy is just She just, girl, you put your big girl panties on. Woman up. You got a husband now. You got, you know what I'm saying, y'all got this blended family going on. You better step it up, girl. You might be the next celebrity we hearing about in the paper talking about divorce, okay? You don't want that. You waited all this time to get a husband, okay? You need to be trying to keep him. That's all I'm gonna say. So Claudia takes her mom and her grandma to a drag queen restaurant for dinner, and I'm like, what is a drag queen restaurant? But I guess like all of the people that work there are drag queens or whatever, and they're all dressed up or whatever. And so her mom and her grandma are like looking around like, what are you Rogers here? What is going on? You know, but they were cool with it or whatever, and they just started talking about her love life, and she's just like, you know, I seem to find these guys that are like daddy figures, and it just never works out. And she's her grandma's like, well, just take your time, you got time. She's like, I don't have time, I'm 41 years old, I need to find a man. And then her mom is like, well, if it's because you want to have a baby, she was like, you don't have to wait for a husband to have a baby, I'm not that old fashioned. And she's like, mama, you know you don't want that. Now you so desperate for a grandbaby that you just like going out there and have one. Go sperm bank if you have to. Just have a baby, okay? Like, you know, her mama was like, look, I done gave up hope about 10 years ago when you find a husband. So just have a baby, please. So I can have some grandkids. Oh, it's so funny. Anyway, so they make a toast to, well, she makes a toast to her finding love. And then her grandma's like, you better watch out for these Atlanta men. I heard they slick. Which I heard that too. Anyways, but her grandma is a mess. And she's like, grandma, don't jinx my toast or whatever. And then her grandma's like, I love you. And she's like, I love you too. And her mom looked a little uncomfortable with that or whatever. And she looks at her mom and she's like, we've never said that to each other. And her mom is like, you know, I don't need to say it. You know I love you because I take care of your ass. I took care of you and your brother. I did what I needed to do as a mother. It's not about saying the words. It's about showing the words, which is kind of what Phaedra was saying earlier. But Claudia was just like, you know, sometimes people need to hear it. And she was like, well, your daddy told me all the time that he loved me. And what did he do? He left me as soon as he found another woman. So, you know what I'm saying? Just saying it doesn't mean a thing if you don't have the actions to back it up. But I do understand what she's saying. You know, like, you know, of course her mother loves her. But it's nice for someone to hear it, you know, from their parent or whatever. I don't think I heard my mom tell me she loved me until I was like an adult. Honestly. I mean, some families are just like that. I mean, my family is not all like, you know, give each other hugs when, you know, you ain't seen them in a long time, things like that. My family's not like that. I'm like that with my husband and my daughter, though. I'm trying to raise her to be a little more affectionate. Because I think it's, you know, it makes you, it's just better. It's just like, you know, just make you feel good when you get a nice hug and somebody say, I love you or whatever. So, you know, because even my daughter, she'll come up to me and she'll be like, she'll give me a kiss and she'll say, I love you, mommy. And it just makes me feel good, you know. Anyways, so, the grandma, I just went all off. I forgot about this crazy grandma. So they were talking about, you know, how she was saying the baby thing or whatever. So she's like, I'm still waiting on my mama to give me the birds and the bees talk. We never had the birds and the bees talk or whatever. Her mom's like, well, what do you need to know? Her grandma was like, look, this is all you need to know. You open up and he slide in. And she was like, and that's it. Oh my God, it was so funny. And then she was like, mama, you got anything to add? And her mom's like, just turn the lights out. She's just like so like shocked. And I'm sure she knows how, you know, her ex-husband's mother is, you know what I mean? But, you know, she's hilarious. And then, what did she say? Claudia asked her, has she ever kissed a woman or something, or been with a woman or whatever? And she's like, a woman tried to kiss me. I'm like, if I don't see a baseball, a bat and two balls down there, I don't want it. This lady is like, oh, she's a mess. She's a mess. Anyways, that was so funny. So the next thing you see, Phaedra, she just getting the boys ready for bed. It's a cute scene with her. It's kind of sad because I'm like, Well, where's Apollo? I mean, you're going away for 8 years. Your oldest son is going to be a preteen when you come out. Like, I mean, I would think that he would be there every single night. Even if him and Phaedra don't speak to each other. He could be giving his kids a bath and reading them a story and putting them to bed. And, you know what I mean? Like, I told y'all he was shiesty. I told y'all, I knew in front of me, getting this man was shiesty. I knew that man was shiesty, okay? But those boys are too cute, aren't they? They look just like their daddy. The younger one seems to have taken Phaedra's more brown color, but they definitely look like their dad, and they are the most adorable little boys. And it's just really sad that they're, especially the youngest one, Dylan, he's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure he doesn't really know who his daddy is right now. I mean, he knows that that's his dad, but if he goes away for 8 years, if he goes away for 8 months, he's not going to remember him. You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of sad that he's not trying to, you know, make those memories and things like that and take as many pictures as he can so he can take them with him to jail. You know, just, I don't know. Told y'all Apollo was shiesty. Can't stand no shiesty man. I can't stand a shiesty person in general. I hate it. Anyways, so you see Nene, Portia. First you see Nene and Portia. They arrive at the restaurant. I guess Portia was waiting in her car. I don't understand why people do this. She was waiting in her car. I guess she was waiting on Nene to get there before she went in. Or maybe Nene told her to wait before she went in. That might have been the case. But I don't understand, like, when you meet somebody, like, if you're there first, go in and get a table. What are you waiting in the car for? This is weird. Anyway, so they sit down, and Nene tells Portia that she invited Cynthia and Kenya. And she's like, Kenya? So clearly, Nene did not tell Portia that Kenya or Cynthia was coming, and definitely didn't tell her that Kenya was coming. So she's like, Kenya, why would you invite Kenya? She's just like, you know, we all need to just squash this beef. Which I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, something gonna come out of this. But it didn't. It was just fake. It was so fake. So, like, you know, they get there. They basically get, I don't know, they get, so Kenya and Cynthia come and they sit down and they just start right in, you know, Cynthia and Nene, and Nene's just like, I don't understand how you said what you meant by I didn't respect you. And Cynthia's like, well, I'm going to explain it to you. You know, I just didn't feel comfortable saying things to you, you know, because I didn't think you were going to receive any kind of criticism very well or whatever. So, you know, that Cynthia's like, well, that's, you know, that's basically why I said that. And Nene's just like, well, you, and then Cynthia's like, well, you know what I'm saying, then you go off and start, you know, talking all this mess and interviews and on blogs and in your blogs and things like that. And Nene's like, well, don't expect to punch me and not get punched back. And Cynthia's like, I did not punch you, Nene. Like, you know what I'm saying, but if I did, you came and blew my head off. You know what I mean? Like, I guess what she means by Cynthia punching her first, or, you know, starting it first, is maybe at the reunion show when she said that, you know, her and Nene, you know, she was no longer Nene's friend or whatever. Because it did kind of seem like a shock to Nene when she said that. But so I guess that's what Nene was referring to. And but, you know, it's kind of silly. Either way, if you have a real friend, you don't bash them to other people. Even if you fall out, you don't bash them to other people. Especially the media. Like, you don't put it out there like that. You know, they didn't need ratings in Atlanta. Nene didn't have to go there. It's other beefs that she could have dealt with in the media other than her and Cynthia. I just really thought that they were really their friendship was better than that, but I guess it wasn't. Anyway, so Kenya kept like butting in, you know, she trying to interject, and I guess she thought she was helping, but she was really just being more annoying to the people that are trying to work, you know, on their relationship or whatever. So Cynthia just tells her, like, can you please let me and Nene talk? Portia gets up, goes to the bathroom, Kenya walks away or whatever. They come back, and of course Kenya's still talking when they come back. But, you know, they make this little fake truce, her, Nene and Cynthia's, basically like, you know, let's just move on. They give each other a hug or whatever. And then she asked Cynthia to get up and move so that Portia could come back and sit next to her. Which I thought was, a little shady, especially after you say you just making up with somebody. So Kenya was like, well, are you guys going to go to lunch and talk about it and have a more serious discussion? And Cynthia's like, I think that's a good idea. But Nene's like, well, maybe we will. Maybe in about 2 years. But right now I'm not ready. And that's how they left it. And so then Cynthia and Portia talk, and they kind of argue back and forth. Nobody knows what they were saying to each other. First, I guess Portia was just saying, like, Cynthia was upset as soon as she got there, and Cynthia was like, well, you were an hour late. And that's why I was upset, and you didn't apologize for it. And Portia's like, you know, I didn't get a chance to. I'm like, girl, you wasn't finna apologize because you walked up in that restaurant, like I said in my first blog. I mean, the blog that I blogged about, when I blogged about that particular episode, she just walked in like, okay, bitch, thank you for waiting. Whatever, I know I'm late, I don't give a shit. That's how she walked in, you know what I mean? She wasn't about to apologize, so. And then she gets mad because Kenya kept calling Cynthia's name, which it was annoying. But Nene was calling Portia's name as well. She just wasn't as loud as Kenya was when she was calling her name. So, and then Nene called Portia's name one last time, and finally Portia obeyed and was quiet and was like, you know, y'all need to calm this down. And then she was like, well, we got this rude bitch on the end talking about Kenya or whatever. And Kenya just kind of looks at her like, wow, you know, why are you going there? And then she just gets up and walks over to Portia. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but she basically tries to give Portia a hug. And Portia's just like, I'm not apologizing for anything. I will acknowledge that it did happen, but I'm not apologizing for anything. And I'm just like, okay, you acknowledge that something happens, but you're not gonna apologize for it? Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And then Kenya's like, you know, I take responsibility for my part in it. And I think that Portia heard her only say, I take responsibility, because Portia's like, well, if you're gonna take responsibility, then that's good, I can move on. She said it like 3 different times. I don't really think she heard exactly what Kenya said. But they hugged it out and they said they were going to move on. But Portia had this look on her face like, no, it won't happen. And then Nene and Kenya decided they were going to be cool again too. And move on. And that was that. That was kind of the end of that. Then they all seem to be having this little fake fun, because you know it's not going to last. And if you saw the previews for next week, you see how Nene throws Kenya some shade at this party they're going to attend next week or whatever. So I don't even know why they even got together. I don't know why Nene tried to bring them together if she really wasn't open to, you know, resolving things with both Kenya as well as Cynthia. So that was just kind of how it ended. And, you know, there was no Watch What Happens Live. They had their finale a week or 2 ago. So that was that. And looking forward to next episode so I can see what happens with Nene and Kenya, and looking forward to Beverly Hills tomorrow. I haven't blogged about Beverly Hills in a while, in like 2 weeks, just because it's not a lot to blog about. You know, I enjoy watching Beverly Hills Housewives. They're my second favorite. Well, you know, I think Atlanta and Beverly Hills are tied, but I just don't have a lot of conversation for Beverly Hills. I just like watching what they do. I don't know. Let's see what happens in the episode tomorrow. I may blog about it. But anyways, until next time, stay real, stay safe, and stay tuned. Stay tuned to Mika Chanel Is Just Saying. Bye bye.